Mind section and chapter number 31, Heart of Case Taking, part 2. Mental state has to be judged against the situation. Aphorism 211 of Organon, I read, the state of disposition of the patient often chiefly determine the selection of homeopathic remedy as being a decided characteristic symptom which can list of all remaining concealed from the accurately observing physician. I again read, the state of disposition of the patient often chiefly determine the selection of homeopathic remedy as being a decidedly characteristic symptom which can list of all the remaining concealed from the accurately observing physician. Hahnemann asserts that all of the characteristic of the patient, his mental state is easiest to elicit. What could make this process difficult is that often some part of the mental state is due to the situation itself. Each patient has to be judged by keeping his situations in mind. It is only then that one can see what is individual to him. In India, for example, if a person is half an hour late for a dinner party, he may find that not only is the first one to arrive, but that is host and hostess have not arrived at all, and the cook has gone to buy vegetables. His friends will advise him not to be so neurotic about time. I am trying to indicate that there is a certain normalcy for each group. It is said of Indian train that they have never run on time. One day train did arrive at the exact time, and some people fainted from the shock and were only consoled when they were informed that it was actually the train that was supposed to have arrived the previous day. And we Indian walk at our own pace. Now, if you find that a person who comes from this background insist on punctuality, it is highly characteristic. But in Europe, where people seems to worship and get command from their watches, and where they behave as if earth will stop moving if there is a delay of more than 1 minute. In these circumstances, insistence on punctuality would be the uncommon or striking unless it is extremely even by European standard. Like in Darwin's law of evolution holds true, I suspect that after a few generations, German will be born with inbuilt Swiss watch. Different sociocultural traits are like disguise which masks the real person. Our job is to discover the person before us, those features that persist no matter what disguise he wear. Now under label, person's characteristic versus characteristic of situation. A person's age, sex, occupation, educational background, nationality, religions, parentage, etc. each leave marks on them and produce in a person certain specific features. From the symptom we uncover, we have to remove those that are explainable by the patient's situation. A person's occupation, for example, will leave its own mark on his nature. A top executive may be expected to anxious and irritable, or military commander may be expected to be strict disciplinary. But if you get symptoms which cannot be fully explained by his occupation, these are the characteristics of the disturbance within. Find those symptoms in the executive or commander that would still have persist even if he were a priest or a cobbler. For example, a busy executive complain of feeling very tense. This is the common, but he say that whenever he is tense, he leaves his office and takes a very long walk. He keeps walking fast until he sweat. Only then does he feel mentally relieved. This morality, which cannot be explained and would have been same even if he were a cobbler or a housewife, reveals the dynamic disturbance within. Now under label, eliminating situational features. In other words, we have to disregard in the patient's mental makeup those features which are due to his sociocultural environment. We have to remove from the picture all symptoms which are common to the group he belongs to and which can be explained by his background. What is left is the pure picture upon which you can base a very sure prescription. Socio-cultural traits are like a clothes on a person. They represent his position, not his individuality. Deprived of his clothes, the man is without any mark of his group or position. This unchanging form, which would remain the same whatever clothes he wear and however much he tries to change his appearance, is the true man. The questions I put to myself when taking a case: what symptom would have been found even if he were from a total different background? These symptoms are the maximum value. For example, if I meet a middle-aged Swiss housewife, mother of 3 children, well-to-do and well-educated, I ask myself after taking her case, which of her symptoms would persist even if she were a young male Tibetan monk, totally unexposed or Western culture, educational in Buddhist scripture, a celebrity whose father had been a shepherd. The symptom which remain even if she were this kind of monk are her real symptom, and those would indicate the remedy. Remedies are fixed totality. They are the same in any country, culture or situation. If this were not so, we would have to have a different we would have to have a different materia medica for different subgroup. We would need only for Swiss female and one for Tibetan male. A remedy is the same anywhere, although the expression may be different. For example, if the symptoms or a remedy is consciousness, the consciousness of the Swiss lady may manifest itself in a high sense of responsibility for her children, even if they are quite grown up. While in the Tibetan monk, it may manifest itself as extreme industriousness in a learning the scripture, but consciousness as a trait is a common for both. Now, on the label, same feature, differing expression. Now we can see from the above example that the same trait can have different expression in different type of people. To take another example, if increased activity at night is the trait, the child will be playful at night. The artist will paint at night. The mill worker will always opt for a night shift. The woman will insist on doing the household chores at night after everyone has slept. And the dog will bark the whole night. So we can see that the playing, barking, etc. are the normal activity of the type, but not subtracting this. The basic trait can be seen increased activity at night, which is the same for all type of people. Basic traits are those which do not belong to any particular group or the people. So when we see an expression in a patient, we have to analyze and reduce his expression to its basic feeling or feeling. For example, if a person is very industrious, working even after office hours and during holiday, then we have to question what is making him like this. It could be due to his consciousness or due to his anxiety, due to its anxiety. If time is set, or it could be that he feels better from occupation, or that he is very business minded and ambitious, or that he just want to avoid the company of people, particularly his family. Maybe it is the combination of two or more the above feeling, but we have to confirm these feelings in other situations. For example, if we think that his industriousness is due to the consciousness, then we ask how conscious he is towards his religion, his family, etc. If consciousness is his strong basic trait, it should be manifest itself in other area of life. And in this way, we have to reduce expression to the basic feeling that cause them.